So Eddie bought this like old van basically for parts because he's refurbishing a truck. And in the back there were just stacks of car manuals, all ages, all types. I've been going through them the last couple days and going to be probably selling what I can. And I'm going to sit and talk to you for a second about some of the considerations I'm going to take. I'm going to keep in mind. I've done a lot of online selling, but this sort of thing is a new one to me, so it's going to take some thought, and I'm going to share with you what my thoughts are on it. My first order of business is going to be to go to the post office tomorrow when I'm in town and talk to them about how I can send these. My preferred, way of sending would be media mail because these are books, but because of the parameters the post office has on media mail, I want to be very sure that I can do that. As a matter of fact, anytime I send anything by media mail, I always go to the post office and I leave the box open so they can look at it. I don't want any trouble later on down the line because I might have misunderstood what is allowed and what's not allowed. I was in the post office about a year ago and somebody was expecting a package from eBay. And not only had the person taken a priority box and wrapped it in brown wrapper, which had ripped. That's already a no-no. You don't use U.S. government mail boxes for any purpose but what they were intended. And he also called it, the seller, I guess, also called it media mail. Well, because the thing had ripped and the box had opened, the clerk could see it was comic books, which are not covered under media mail. So there was a $20, the buyer was looking at $20, penalty or extra postage, number one, for using the priority box in an incorrect way, and for the seller claiming media mail when comic books are evidently not covered by media mail. So if you're going to sell or stuff by mail, you have to be very careful you follow the rules of the post office or any entity you use. As I was leaving the post office, I think the guy had left the books there, the comic books there, and he was going to talk to the eBay seller who broke a lot of rules. I had another episode or experience where I had some old heritage homes. They were 30, 35 years old, these booklets, home tours for a town nearby, and a friend of mine wanted them, so I decided to send them to her, and I brought them to the post office and asked them about it. And because they had sold ads in the back of the little Heritage Homes, guide as part of the fundraising, I could not send it media mail because it was advertising, even though the advertising was 35 years old. So I just grabbed a book off the top of the pile here, and it says Datsun, Nissan, Sentra. I don't know, is this considered product advertising? I'm not sure. So I have to check. It's actually one of the worst books. I think almost no value. But the point is that I have to go in and bring a couple of different ones and check and see if if this is considered advertising, if this can go in media mail or not. So the amount of postage, because these are very heavy, is going to again determine how I send them and how I price them and what the market will bear. Now I also have to see if there's a market for these. I think there are. Some of them are kind of mass produced, but there's some older ones that I've done some price checking on. So, and there is some value, and when selling things you have to realize there's three values. There's what it's worth to you, what it's worth, and what it's worth to the consumer. And those are three completely different factors. It doesn't matter that it's worth a lot to you because the consumer doesn't care, the market doesn't care what it's worth to you personally. What you see online is the value, again, doesn't have much value. I've done some research on some of these books, like I do research every time I sell online, and some of them do have some value, But is that the asking value or the sales value? Does that include the shipping or not shipping? Is that the condition they're in? I don't know. You know, I've done my preliminary look, and I've separated things out, and it will indeed need another look. So you know, I have to take that in consideration too. Also, picking the appropriate platform is going to be important too. I don't do eBay or Amazon, so that's not a possibility. But I have other platforms that might be a pretty good fit for certain things. And I know a lot of people in the classic car arena through my previous life, and I'm probably going to be reaching out to them too and asking them what they think and where things can go. Eddie and I, at least previous to the pandemic, we're doing a once-a-year sort of flea market just to get rid of stuff. So worst comes to worst, I'll take some of these there at some point, whatever I can't sell or is not marketable, and just sell them $1 each and just move them along. So that's where I'm at right now with these car manuals. And if you have any thoughts or ideas on where or how I could sell these, that would be great. It's really a known world to me, but I'm excited. It's a learning curve. Thank you so much for watching.